I loved also that this is like the first Marvel movie that makes DC references, and you're actually going to be in the Batman too. Which is wild.
We can't talk about that.
You can't talk about the Batman?
Mm-mm.
Wait till they get a load of me.
Gotham is yours. None shall interfere. Do as you please.
So, one of my most anticipated movies for next year, which should have been this year, should have been October, because The Batman with Robert Pattinson has some aspects of the long Halloween, so it should have came out in Halloween, would have been so much better, is The Batman 2022, directed by Matt Reeves, starring Robert Pattinson. We've got some test screen information that gives away some cool plot details, so yo, what is freaking good, YouTube? If you are new around here, make sure to subscribe to help the channel out and to never miss any of the pop culture based videos. Turn notifications on. Check us out on Instagram at Warstu if you want to see what the beautiful face behind the beautiful voice looks like. Also check us out on Twitter, Warstu G, because I got like 5 followers over there. So I held off. This information came out yesterday because I wanted to see if it was real, but it was coming from a trade. So The Batman, Warner Bros. Reportedly testing 2 cuts of a movie with a mystery character on the line. So as we know, I've covered this at least twice now. Barry, who was in Marvel's Eternals. I'll put it in the intro, the clip with Chris from comic.com. When he asks him, are you in the movie? What can you say? And he literally says, I can't say anything. I can't say anything. So the rumor is he was going to be the Mad Hatter. But as we broke down, I think about a month ago now, everyone seems to think he's going to be the Joker in this movie. And as we know, I reported over a year ago, there was an ending credit scene or post-credit scene. It wasn't actually precise what it was in Arkham Asylum, which set up the Batman to go against the Joker. Now, it would be cool if Joker's in it. So, what does this report allegedly say? Now, we know it's real because it's coming from an actual trade. So, according to the Hollywood Reporter, now, I don't actually think a lot of these websites are credible, but Variety, the Hollywood Reporter, they can't really go on record and say something happened if it actually didn't. So, they did go ahead and say there's a wild rumor about Barry being the Joker, and they said they can't confirm or deny if that is the case, but it is interesting nonetheless. So, according to this report on the Hollywood Reporter, Warner Bros. Tested 2 cuts of Matt Reeves' The Batman, and the studio expected to make a decision on which cut will make the final movie, obviously. After the final test screening occurred last week, it was also reported that Barry's character only appeared in 1 cut. So obviously, it's a case of, does the Warner Bros. Executives want Joker or not want Joker? The other alternative is he's the Mad Hatter, but why would Mad Hatter be in jail? And a lot of the people said on the comment section were like, oh, it's Scarface. Why is he the Joker? Because he's got a scar. Well, the reason I said it was Joker was because of the information I was told over a year ago when I was literally told there was a Joker scene. Not only that, a super duper scuba Daniel Rickman reported over a year ago there was actually a Joker scene that was making the rounds. Predominantly it came from Reddit, and then some scoopers like Daniel RPK started talking about, etc. So that's where the Joker rumor came back, and it actually looks like it could very well be cool. So far we've had 2 trailers for this movie, both at DC Fandom event. Realistically, we shouldn't have had the second one. Why not? Because the second one, the movie should have came out in Halloween, October of this year. So what do we know about this movie so far? Well, we know realistically what happens in the trailer, and we also know what happens in the official synopsis, which the latest synopsis is 2 years of stalking the streets as Batman. Robert Pattinson, striking fear into the hearts of criminals, has led Bruce Wayne deep into the shadows of Gotham City with only a few trusted allies. Alfred Pennyworth, played by Andy Serkis. Lieutenant James Gordon, played by Jeffrey Wright. A Monster City corrupt networks of official and high profile figures the lone vigilante has established as the sole embodiment of vengeance amongst his fellow citizens. So in the trailer he goes, I am vengeance. It really is going to be a brutal movie, although somehow it's most likely going to be a PG-13. But I would love to see release the R-rated cut. When a killer targets Gotham's elite with a series of statistics, a trail of cryptic clues sends the world's greatest detective on an investigation into the underworld, where he encounters such characters as Selena Kyle, played by Zoë Kravitz, Oswald Cobblepot as the Penguin, Colin Farrell, he's apparently not even in the movie that much, Falcone, And then we got the Riddler, who apparently is the main narrative villain of the whole story. As the evidence begins to lead closer to home, the scale of the perpetrator lead become clear. Batman must forge new relationships, unmask the culprit, and bring justice to the abuse of power and corruption that has long plagued Gotham City. This actually does sound... Now, I know I'm a big Batfleck fan, but this actually sounds like it could be one of the best Batman movies ever, because if you factor in what the recent test screen said, it actually is backing up what the director himself said. So Matt Reeves recently spoke to Total Film, and he teased, because the idea of what Batman's doing, it's scary. Then if you read the comments to do with the test screeners, when people said it's the scariest Batman movie ever, the headline for this is Matt Reeves promised Robert Pattinson it's the scariest Batman ever done on screen, which is pretty fantastic. He went on to say, it's a detective story, it's an action movie, it's a psychological thriller, Reeves added, who found himself inspired by the Zodiac, a serial killer who tormented California's Bay Area in the 60s and 70s via a series of coded messages sent to the newspaper. When it came out to the Central, and it's very scary antagonistic. So it's essentially saying that it's inspired by the Zodiac killer, so it could be very scary. So Reeves also went on to say, I felt that we'd seen a lot of the original stories, he explains. We've seen things go further and further into fantasy, I felt. Well, one place we haven't been is grounding it in the way Year One does, to come right into a young Batman. Not be an original tale, but refer to his origins and shake it to its mother in core. For some reason, Batman's just always stood out, added Pattinson. It's one of the major characters of the 20th century, and some people connect to him in such a deep level, and for so many different reasons. The first conversation I had with Matt about it, I just knew there was something radically different from any other Batman we've seen before. So this is fantastic to hear the actual actor behind it be actually passionate. You don't really ever hear actors being that passionate about the role, unless you're talking about Henry Cavill when he talks about Geralt of Riviera, or Henry Cavill talking about Superman, although he's not played the role in 4 years. Well, realistically, he's not shot anything in 4 years. It's cool that Robert Pattinson is actually passionate about his role, and it's even cooler that the information that Matt Reeves recently said to Total Film actually lines up with the test screen leaks that said it's the scariest Batman ever. It's the most brutal Batman you've seen ever, and we can already see that based on the trailer where Batman beats someone up to the inch of their life. But as we know, Batman does not believe in guns, he does not believe in killing, but it still beat you to an inch of your life, which is kind of condescending in a way. So I am really looking forward to this. I hope they don't do what Spider-Man does and reveal so much more information, because at the moment we've got the trailer, we keep getting these final little teasers that the final cut, it's locked in. The Warner Bros executive had decided which one to do. Interesting that one was done with Barry and one was done without Barry, seeing as Barry was supposed to be, according to IMDb, a random police officer, but according to this information, he's gonna be the Joker. I'm pretty sure that's what they're on about. So it is interesting. Let me know down below, guys, what you want to know. I know this information's been absolutely everywhere, Twitter, Instagram, but before I made this video, I wanted to see if anything else actually came out about it. So let me know, guys, what do you want me to do next? Do you want me to break down everything we know about the Batman 2022? Do you want me to review any old Snyderverse based videos? Let me know, guys. As I said, I am doing very different kind of content while still keeping it the same, because we all know you love the way I do my content. So like always, guys, let me know what you want me to do next. I think it's freaking cool. There's been so many test screens, even test screening it with the executives. Let's hope they pick the right one. Pretty obvious they picked the one with Joker, because they were thinking, oh, the Joker, Joaquin Phoenix, banged $1 billion. Let's tease Joker. Let's not bring him in Batman 2, because this is a trilogy. We know it's already been confirmed. It's just a case of if the Batman does bang, then we get Batman 2. I really hope they tease the Joker right then with Barry. Maybe bring him in a little bit in the second movie, and then have him as the main villain for the Batman 3 with Robert Pattinson. So like always, guys, check us out on Instagram at Warstu. Check us out on Twitter, WarstuG. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. It helps me out more than you'll ever know. I always try to reply back to all the DMs on Instagram and all the comments. If you say something that's worthy of commented, if you just say, yo, this was cool, there's no real point coming back to that. So yeah, if you have to ask me a question, ask an engaging kind of comment, I will reply if I can. And I'll catch you guys in another video very soon. Catch ya later.